My definition of vision, this did not come from Webster's dictionary, is the ability to take a trip into your future and then come back and make plans on how to get there.
Beautiful.
He did.
Beautiful.
The ability to take a trip into your future and then to come back and make plans on how to get there.
That's all right. That's all right.
We all have an address for the future. And it's 9 times out of 10 not where we're sitting at now. But God has given us the ability to actually, literally at any point in time, take a trip into where you're going and see the fruitfulness of it. And then say, okay, now let's work together to build this thing up. Yes, sir. There's 5 questions, and again today I know we're talking about entrepreneurs, but I believe that there's, in any success in anything that we do, you got to deal with the fundamentals first. You have to deal with the fundamentals first. You have to deal with what's in your heart first. So the first thing I wanted to, there's 5 questions of the human heart, and I'm actually give credit to Dr. Miles Monroe for this. I love, if you guys haven't heard of him, it's Miles Monroe, M-Y-L-E-S M-U-N-R-O-E. He's a pastor out in the Caribbean, but very powerful man. First question, who am I? These are 5 questions that everybody should be able to answer at any point in time to be able to propel themselves forward. Who am I? It's a question of identity. Okay? Now, this isn't one of the 5 that I'm about to mention, but the follow-up question is, whose am I? Because to be able to ask, who am I, you got to know, okay, who do I belong to? We're all children of the King, so therefore we're all princes and princesses, and eventually to be kings of our own kingdom. So, therefore, you're setting the bar high for yourself. I think too many people set the bar too low, and they achieve far below what God put them here to achieve. So the second question is, where am I from? And that's a question of your source. Where does the source of your power come from? Where does the source of your vision come from? Where does the source of your purpose come from? The third question is, why am I here? What's your purpose? Everything I talk about comes more so from the Word of God. So you'll hear it come up every once in a while. But we all have a purpose. I like to envision this there's a reason why you were born, the day you were born, the city you're in, during the time you're in. It wasn't just an arbitrary choice. You're here for a purpose. And in order to be able to step into your vision, you have to ultimately know what that purpose is. And then we're going to delve into these a little bit further, but then this is an overview. The next one is, what can I do? Again, this is more focused on yourself. What can you, where you're at now, the network that you have now, the people you know, what can you do? And I'll tell you, a lot of people feel defeated, especially the way the economy is right now. But the funny thing is, if you look at I think the statistic is 80% of the Fortune 500 companies that we see now are all started in recessions. The thing is, these people that started it had a vision, but the vision was burst out of them because of necessity. It wasn't because they were comfortable sitting in a house and like, oh, I want to start this. Sometimes they just need to figure out a way to feed their family, and then that way ended up being Coca-Cola or some sort of barbecue sauce. It doesn't have to be anything big, but they had a purpose, an initial purpose within themselves. And they asked that general question, what can I do? And then last but not least, where am I going? That ties back into what I said about the definition of vision. When you want to start that process, you have to have seen where it is that you're supposed to be going. And again, the funny thing about seeing where you're going, God doesn't ever show you everything. So he'll show you just enough to get you going. But where he has for you is so much greater. Then he can't even tell you what it is, because you wouldn't even step into it. The old pastor of mine said, God is like headlights. Your headlights only show you 20, 30 feet in front of you in a car. Because if it showed you that you have to go on a 100-mile drive, you might have just stayed at home. So, you know, that's how God is. He showed you just enough to get you going, to get you unhappy with where you're at. If you're unhappy where you're at, that means God has something greater for you. Because so many people will just, I'm fine where I'm at. That's fine, that's not bad, that's for them. But if you're unhappy where you're at, or you feel that desire to push for more, that means God has more for you. And that means you know you got more for yourself.